Dee is here. Hi, everybody. The tell-all just ended, and we need to talk about it. So, Kara and Dee are joining. Hi, everyone. Hey, Miss Cast. How are you? All right, Dee and Kara, y'all need to request to join, ladies. Judith, hi. I'm so glad you're here because you were the one who told me what the crane was in my yard, and I was scared, so I appreciate you. Thanks for joining. Dee, where are you? Kara, where are you? There's Kara. All right, so Kara and Dee are joining. Welcome, everyone. Everyone who watched that tell-all. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Dee.
Hey.
Hi,
How's everybody doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Me too. I'm good.
So how
are you?
We feeling? How are we feeling after part 3 of this tell-all? What are your raw reactions right now?
So much.
Yeah.
There's not enough internet.
What?
We could be on live all night to talk about it. So.
All right, so I want to know what happened on the tell-all tonight that surprised you the most. I want to hear from both of you, like something, because obviously the Danielle and Johan thing happened.
Yes.
But like, was that the thing that surprised you the most, or was it the Chris and Jamie and Chris's mom and the things that she had to say? Like, what got you like to jaw drop to the floor tonight?
Probably Johan dumping Danielle flat on her ass. That was
awesome. That was not. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, me.
So, okay, so let's jump in. I wanted to talk about that, so let's just start with that, okay? So, Johan said that he told Danielle if she brought exes into their relationship, that it was going to be the demise of their relationship. And he said that Danielle was in one ear and out the other, and she did what she wanted to do. Now, I tweeted this earlier. I said, if Danielle wants to behave like a single woman, she should be a single woman. And I think Johan said it exactly right. He was like, if you don't want to be married, you don't have to be married, but you have to respect your husband. So, and I think Isabel, they were going to ask Isabel how she would feel if this situation was going on with her and Gabe. And Gabe was like, you don't even need to know the answer. It would never be me bringing an ex into our relationship. It would never happen. And I think most women would feel the same way. You know, it's like Danielle's like, oh, well, I'm different. I would welcome that. And I was like, but you're saying that because it's not happening, right?
But can we acknowledge the fact that her face lit up when Taylin walked in more than it has the entire season? She was like so happy, so excited, like there's my man. Even though her man's sitting next to her, she was more happy to see Taylin than anything.
And how he hesitated whenever he was asked if he still had problems. I mean, not problems, I'm sorry. If he still had feelings for her. It took him a minute to answer.
Yeah.
You know, if I didn't have where am I getting problems from, guys? My brain is going 90 to nothing. It's been a day today. I'm sorry. If I didn't have, you know, any feelings for anybody, it would have took me less than half of a second to be no. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Johan dumping her on the show live on TV? Because she said, she's like, there's other issues going on. This isn't really how he feels.
She deserved it.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
I mean,
there'll be consequences. We will see what they are. Boom, explosion, done deal.
But do you think it's really over? Because Danielle said earlier in the tell-all, she said, I'm not ever really done. Or do you think?
Because for the last week, Danielle has been all over Instagram blasting Johan and how horrible he was and what a narcissist he is and how emotionally abusive he was. But yet she's not the one that broke up with him. So now all of her videos just tells me that that's like super bitter ex trying to say bad things about him because she did not want to break up. If she didn't want to break up, she wouldn't be blasting him.
Do you think that Danielle is embarrassed because she was always the one in control in this relationship and Johan just basically dumped her on live TV. Like, I feel like she's probably embarrassed. So those lives that she's been doing lately, they're more so revenge for him taking control in a relationship where she thought she held all of the control. I feel like he's not really horrible. I mean, I'm not saying that he's the greatest. I don't know him. But, like, I don't really feel like he was the worst possible husband that she could have had. Like, I don't see that. I feel like he's definitely traditional. He's old school. He believes that the man is supposed to be in charge and the man is supposed to be respected. You know, he's traditional and old school, but a lot of people in America are still that way. You know, like, I know that it's 2023 and we're trying to get out of those gender roles, but a lot of people are still that way. That's just how they were raised. And I don't think that he was asking for too much to have his wife actually respect his feelings. I don't think that that's asking a lot. Especially
since, you know, when they first looked at that apartment and she asked, "Are you going to help me pay the rent?" He says, "I'll give you my entire salary." And then she laughs and scoffs at that. Literally says, "You would have to cook and clean and be my bitch." That's her words verbatim.
Yep.
It's been nothing but disrespect on her part through the whole thing. Meeting with the ex, not approving of this, not approving of that. She's been very disrespectful. So for him to finally put his foot down and say, "I don't care anymore. Do what you're going to do. I'm with you till the lease is up," and that's a wrap. I was so for him.
Yeah, and I think, you know, throughout the whole season, she was, you know, humiliating him and trying to belittle him and degrade him, that he was waiting for the right moment to drop the bombshell on her, and that's what he did tonight, because he knew that would humiliate her, that would, you know, belittle her, knowing that she just got dumped in front of everybody. Yep, I think he was just waiting for the right moment. I mean, so hands down, she deserved it.
With that being said, I think that Johan tried to humiliate her when he met Talon, and I think that she wouldn't allow it. Yeah. Did you notice that she has been humiliating him all season? He can't make the money. He can't do this right. He's just, everything is wrong. His meat, the butcher shop, everything was wrong. But when he tried to get revenge, she cut him off. He would ask her, she's like, "No, you're not allowed to ask that. You're not allowed to say that. That would be embarrassing. That's private." She wanted to control the fact that she could humiliate Johan whenever she was ready. Yep. But Johan didn't have the option of making her feel uncomfortable or humiliating her. That was just something she wouldn't allow. And I think, like you said, Johan found the perfect opportunity to insert his dominance into the situation. And he's like, "Well, you haven't allowed me to be a man in my own home for all this time, so I'm going to show you today who is really in charge." And he let her have it right there on camera. She started crying, and everyone's like feeling bad for her. I was like, but do we feel bad for her, though? Because she kind of treated this man terrible.
That was funny.
I did too. Yep, I was cheering.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be cold, but I think Gabe said it best. Gabe was like, you took his balls and you put them in your purse, and you were walking around with this man's balls, and now that he has them back, we're all happy. We're all super excited for him to be who he wants to be. And he never once wanted to be in a relationship where his wife made decisions regardless of how he felt. No marriage works that way. No husband and wife have a conversation. And I don't even call it a conversation. Danielle just says what she's going to do, and there's no discussion afterward. That's not a conversation, right? A conversation goes both ways. He's never wanted to be in a relationship or marriage that went that way, so I'm happy that he's choosing himself. And he's like, well, look, if you don't want to deal with me and my feelings and acknowledge that how I feel matters, I'm going to walk away. And I think that's the best option for him.
Yeah, and she made the comment also about the birthday party, and when he said, you know, she brought up Talon the day before, so my party was ruined. She actually said, so if you go back to, you know, when she first got there and she was this great big breadwinner and had all this stuff, and the family was hoping for Johan that he was going to get to come to the US and all of that. That was all great. So at the birthday party, when he didn't thank her, she said today, she said, he embarrassed me in front of the family, and now I feel like I can't ever face them again. So essentially, he was wearing the pants in the relationship for the first time, and she didn't like that.
Exactly.
I think that all of her relationships, like if we were to ever speak to any more of her exes, because we know what Talon said. Talon was like, you're the dominant one in the relationship, and the idea that you're in a relationship where he's challenging for power, he's like, I'm surprised that you can be in a relationship like that. And I feel like if we question any of her exes, They would all say the same thing. I feel like, because when she was like, well, we should go to therapy together. And I was like, or you should go to therapy and figure out why you want to control all these different men. I was like, I'm not saying that both of you wouldn't benefit from group therapy, but maybe you go first and figure out the issues, and then you bring him in later. Because I feel like he didn't necessarily do anything wrong to land him in therapy, did he? I feel like he just wanted to be heard and understood. That doesn't mean you needed therapy, right?
And then when she brings a therapist in, it's going to be one of her choosing, and they're going to tell her to go do some stupid shit like plant a coconut or kick a coconut or make a banana tree or something stupid.
Or it'll be a therapist that she dated like 4 years ago and they had an intimate relationship. Because this is Danielle, right?
Yeah.
She'll find a therapist that she slept with like 5 years ago. So it'll all go her way because this is just what she does. She always has to have her way. Her outcome is going to be the outcome that she accepts, and no other outcome will matter. So it's like, Johan, good for you that you have ended this. And I'm pretty sure there's a woman out there who will respect you, who will listen to you, and who will keep her exes out of your relationship. That's not too much to ask.
Nope, not at all.
And if you guys noticed too, that it was okay for Taylin to ask questions about hers and Johan's relationship, but whenever he was trying to ask Taylin for some information, she was like, no, you can't do that. You know, that's inappropriate. But it was appropriate for her to tell Taylin everything about her and Johan. I mean, come on.
Right.
Who's she kidding?
She was essentially talking crap about her husband to her ex. And Johan was like, this is my first time seeing this conversation. And he was like, this shows your lack of respect for me because I'm your husband. And you shouldn't be sitting with your ex saying negative things about me when he hasn't even met me. Like, that's just something you don't do. And it shows that she didn't really have a lot of respect for him. She felt that she could do, like, well, he said it. She can do whatever she wants. She can behave like a single woman, but he has to do whatever she says. That's not a relationship. And I think this explains why Danielle, you know, in her life has a lot of failed relationships. She told us in the beginning on Love in Paradise, she has so many failed relationships, and she had given up on relationships. And I think there's a reason for that. I think the way that she treats the guys that she's with explains it. You have to treat people with respect. You're not the only person that matters. You know, there are other people in this relationship, Johan's family, Johan's friends, because she's like, I never met Johan's friends, so I don't really know anything about him. I was like, so you married a person that you know nothing about.
But
like, that's a
good example. That right there is the best example. I've never met his friends. I don't know anything about his past. But yet, in the same breath, if his ex wanted to meet you, I would say, and she says, yeah, bring her. I want to meet the bitch. So she's already jealous of the ex that she never met.
I caught that because I was like, well, why does she have to be a bitch? Why can't she just be his ex? So you're behaving and reacting the same way Johan did, actually more aggressively. Johan never called him any names, you know, so you're acting even more aggressively. So even in her explanation of I would be okay with it, she showed aggressive reaction to it. So she knows that she's not okay with it. And I don't know. I want to talk about Mahmoud and Ahmed laughing at the fact that he got caught cheating. I don't want to say cheating. They called it just chatting, but based on that conversation, it could have been more. But he gets caught and they just start laughing. It's hilarious to them. And I couldn't understand it. And they tried to explain it as a cultural reaction. When you're sad or when something bad happens, you just laugh. And I was like, nah, I don't know. I've never been to a funeral where everybody was laughing. Like, I don't think that that's a cultural thing. I've never been to Egypt, so I'm not going to say I know everything. But I think that that laughter was kind of a disrespectful laughter because they were just like, look at this crazy woman angry at you talking to other women as though she can control you. That's kind of how I looked at it. Because we know that Mahmoud can't be controlled. He's going to do whatever he wants. He's going to say whatever he wants. Whatever Nicole says is irrelevant. He's always going to be Mahmoud. He said, I'm going to be Mahmoud on any country, any soil, any coast. I'm always going to be myself. So I don't know. I felt like it was super disrespectful. And the fact that they're still together, it just makes me scratch my head. And it makes me just wonder, like, what's going on in Nicole's mind? Because I tweeted this earlier. I was like, I feel like Nicole is in love with a Muslim man, but she doesn't like Muslim men. And I don't know if that like summed it up, but I was like, she doesn't like Muslim men in the way they behave, but somehow she's in love with a Muslim man and she's trying to find a way around the fact that she doesn't like him, but she loves him. That's kind of where I landed with it.
Well, I felt like they were two elementary school boys, the way they were just giggling about it. None of it was funny. She was devastated. She was embarrassed. That was horrific. Like, that shouldn't have happened. And they were acting like such children. The disrespect was through the roof.
Yes, yes, it was. I'm in total agreement with that. I mean, that was no reason whatsoever for them to laugh at the situation, you know. And it's pretty much they were laughing at everybody. They was even asking questions about that. They were pretty much laughing. And then for them to say they even laugh at funerals, come on.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Come on, seriously. I mean,
I didn't understand why they couldn't take it seriously, but I kind of feel like we've been seeing this throughout the season. Mahmoud never takes Nicole's feelings seriously. It's always, what is it now? What is it now? Why are you angry now? He always just looks at it as an overreaction.
Yep.
He never sees her feelings as valid. It's just do what I say and we wouldn't have to argue. Just stop getting mad. And he never really gets to the core of why she's upset, why they're always angry, why they're always fighting. So we saw this week, I know all of us, even the people on here, so I'm not ruining it for anyone. Yeah. Mahmoud is on U.S. soil. We know this for a fact. We all saw it. The videos were up. He landed in LAX. We know this. So what is your reaction? Because obviously TLC had cameras there. So they're going to be on either, what is it?
Happily Ever After.
Or before not before the 90 days, because we already saw this would start his 90 days, right? If he landed, this would start it. So maybe on actually the 90 Day Fiance season. Yeah. So what are your raw reactions? Are you surprised that they're going to be on another show and they're already filming? Are you disappointed? Do you feel like we're wasting our time because it's not going to work? How do you feel?
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed and surprised. I'm surprised that they stayed, I mean, because, you know, we don't know how long ago the tell-all was filmed. I'm assuming many, many months ago. Yeah. So I can't believe that they've made it work over that time. But for him to actually, I'm very disappointed. I'm sad for Nicole.
I can't believe that she is just like, what's the word? I've been talking a lot of Spanish today, guys. So let me find my English word, okay? I cannot believe that she has lowered her self-esteem so much that she thinks that, you know, he's the only one out there. Yeah. And as far as him being in the United States, he has got a rude awakening because the United States is nothing like his country. Nothing like his country. He may be Mahmoud over there, but he's going to be something else over here. I mean, because and especially in Los Angeles, I mean, you're not going to get away with treating people the way you treated them over there. You're not going to get away with it over here. Yeah. You're not.
Oh, are they already married? Yes, Nicole and Mahmoud are already married. They actually were married prior to this season. We didn't see their wedding. It already took place. Somebody asked that in the comments. But yes, I think that, go ahead.
And she's asking that because we just said, are they going to be on Happily Ever After or the 90 days? Does that start the 90 days? If I'm not mistaken, if they're married in another country, they still have to get married over here within 90 days for his visa to be valid.
Right.
For him to get.
Right. I think that's how the spousal visa works. You get married over there, and then you come over here and you have 90 days to get married on U.S. soil.
Yeah. That's what
it's weird because the marriage over there doesn't necessarily count over here, unfortunately. Yeah. So they would have to, it's basically like they weren't married there, but they did because that's how they were able to apply for the spousal visa. But in order to activate it, they would need to get married over here. But yeah, I'm just like surprised because she kept saying throughout the season that she felt like their problems were location based. And I just don't see that. I feel like Mahmoud is always going to feel that she's showing too much skin. And I tweeted this earlier. I was like, she's showing her arm or her shoulder. And I was like, I feel like in America, that is being extremely modest because I've been to LA. I go to, I live in Florida. I've been all over the country and I've seen, oh my gosh, I go to Miami and there are women walking around with basically nothing on. They're just something covering, you know, just the areas that are private.
Just to keep it legal.
Yes. I hope that bumping into Dirk and Stacey at some point.
Right. And I was like, I don't know if the problems are going to get better. Because she's like, well, if we were in America, we wouldn't have these problems. I think your problems are going to be tenfold in America, because you're going to feel more comfortable being yourself, and he's going to feel more uncomfortable seeing you be yourself, because in his country, you're the only one doing it. Right? Like, no one else is doing it. It's just you. But when he gets here and he's surrounded, he's going to feel outnumbered by the people in America. And good God, he's in LA. LA is pretty much just like Miami.
Also, there was that recap clip where they had that fight, and I didn't see it the first time until the recap clip, where he like grabbed her hand and was kind of pulling on her. He pulls that shit in LA, somebody's going to lay him out. Like,
yeah,
I would have punched him in the face right then and there, no questions asked.
Yeah, I tweeted this earlier. Why is it that the physical altercation between Nicole and Mahmoud got less attention than the physical altercation between Jamie and Chris? And I was like, is it because Jamie is a more likable cast member and Mahmoud and Nicole aren't? So people were like, oh, well, they're fighting, I don't care. But when it happened with Jamie, there was a huge outcry of support for Jamie. But I felt like that altercation kind of went without people batting an eye. Am I right?
I don't know about you guys personally, but I don't remember like seeing that whole part. I don't know if like unseen footage, if you guys saw it, but I remember the altercation, but I don't remember him putting his hands on her. I think the thing with Jamie and Chris was so violently angry, and she just came at her with a double shove. He was grabbing her by the hand and kind of yanking on her, but like Chris was ready to throw down right there. So I don't know. Maybe other people have saw that part and remember it, but I don't remember physically seeing that part. But I was...
Oh, so Kim says that in these countries, you can't walk away from a Muslim man in public. I did notice, first of all, I did see that full clip when it happened, because I thought in the first time I saw it, I thought that Nicole was the aggressor. It looked like Nicole shoved him. But then when I watched it again tonight, I saw that it was kind of, he had her arm and she ripped his arm away. And so I kind of did get a better understanding of what happened. But I did notice there were people whose faces were blurred out and there were people staring. And I was like, I don't think you're allowed to get into a physical altercation in these Muslim culture countries with a woman, right? I don't think women are allowed to be violent towards a man. So I think that what she was doing would be considered illegal, right? Am I right?
I think so.
Even though...
Yeah, I think so. I think they would go to jail or something like that over there, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they could possibly go to jail because it's illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
for sure. I don't know the rules of any other countries other than the US, and even at that, all the rules. But I do know if they're one of them, I mean, I feel like if Nicole was kicking his ass in LA, everybody'd be like filming it and making TikToks. But I feel like if he touched her in LA, he's gonna get his ass whooped. Plain and simple. It's coming.
Oh, we are not Muslim. Someone asked. We are not Muslim. We were just talking about a TV show that was featuring a man who is from Egypt, Cairo, Egypt, who is a Muslim. So we are only speaking what we kind of know but don't know. So please don't take any of this as set information about the Muslim culture. We are just discussing, what we understand of it. So I want to make sure that that's very clear. So what do you think about this relationship? I kind of think that it's a waste of time. Like, getting involved anymore on another season is going to waste time because they're not going to end up together. I think it's a pretty clear, someone said it on a tell-all. Was it Debbie? I think Debbie said it. I think or maybe it wasn't Debbie. Someone said that there's no reason for this to continue because it's not going anywhere, and I agree 100%.
I think it was Gabe.
Gabe. Yes, Gabe. It was Gabe, because Gabe was like, the outcome of this is a breakup.
Yeah,
and that's exactly
told her that she needed to get a divorce.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm in agreement with Gabe.
Yeah.
They need to get a divorce.
All right, I want to talk about Gabe's sister Monica. First of all, what did you think of Monica showing up to the tell-all but not showing up to Gabe's wedding, and she was in the same city? I was very, very offended, because I was like, the fact that you can show up to New York to go to this tell-all, but you couldn't go down the street from where you were to your brother's wedding, it really infuriated me.
Yeah.
And I was like, the way that she made her interaction on the tell-all all about her. She never once thought about how her not being there hurt her brother. It was all about, he hurt me, he said this, I was upset, my hotel was 8 minutes away, he didn't cater to me, he didn't make Monica feel happy. And I was like, when did this become about you? You flew to this country to go to his wedding, and then somehow you ended up not being there, and now you're on stage crying. How did this take place? How did we get here?
Yeah. I don't know. That was a lot. That,
I think,
you know,
the way I was looking at it, is she was not able to control the situation.
Yeah.
If she's not able to control the situation, she is not happy. Yeah. And with her not being able to control the situation at the tell-all, of course, she showed up.
Yeah.
But to make Gabe, like Gabe said, she could have did, I think he said, shoot him in the face and break his leg.
Yeah.
He would have still been at the wedding. And, from what I've seen in the season, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I've seen in the season is Gabe said over and over again that he didn't want to tell Monica everything because Monica always finds reasons to try to get in the middle of his relationships. And so he didn't want to be, 100% communicating with her because he didn't want anything to go wrong. He didn't want it to go south real fast.
Oh.
And if she would have been, all up in it, like, she wanted to be, she would have been trying to control it. And then it just would have been like a lot of negativity. And how is that fair to Gabe and Isabel?
Yeah, I agree.
I think that Monica is about Monica. And everybody has a Monica in their family. I have one. I'm not going to say which family member it is in case they watch this. But everyone has that person where it's all about them. You plan a party, you plan an event, you're doing something. They will come, but make it about themselves. Yeah. Okay, bye, Kim. Love you. Bye, Kim. They'll come and make it about themselves. And they will be like, oh, well, you didn't plan this because I'm gonna say this. They'll probably know it's about them, but they planned something. It was a destination thing. They told me about it last minute. I was supposed to fly there and be a part of it. I wasn't able to do it. So they spent the whole event telling all of our family how I didn't show up. And I was the problem. I ruined their event. And I wanted to be there, but I actually didn't have time to get the ticket. And I was like, this is why I didn't come, because if I was going to come, it would have been more about me because I would have complained than it would have been about you. So I didn't want to be there. And I feel like Monica's the person who shows up to stuff and then wants to make it about her and complain. And I just felt like maybe it was a better situation that she wasn't there, because did you see that she wore, Donna's saying she wore the tell-all dress. She wore the wedding dress to the tell-all. She couldn't go to the wedding. She spent 2 hours getting her hair done for a wedding she didn't go to, and then wore the dress to the tell-all.
Because she was crying. She said, I cried the whole 2 hours. The whole 2 hours I was getting my hair done. That's stupid. That's
all because Gabe said, you're the one who is the common denominator in me and my relationships not working. And Gabe said that's not exactly what he said. He said something different. The words were twisted. He just basically was saying you're too involved, and when you get too involved, there's too much drama in my relationships. And I agree. I feel like he needs to butt out. When we watched the scenes before he left Florida, she was way too involved. I understand supporting your brother and knowing what's going on. I do think that Gabe did admit that he withholds information and he's not open with her, but it's only to protect himself and his relationship, because she's known to pry and she's known to cause problems.
Shouldn't have to feel obligated to tell his sibling everything. Granted, that's cool that they're close or were close, whatever. But
hey, Rishi.
Hi, Rishi.
Hi, Rishi.
He should not at all have to.
Well, it would be easier for him to tell Monica things if she reacted better. I think that
she's being petty from the get-go. Yes. I mean, whenever, from the time that he even told them that he was moving to Colombia, then told them that they were getting married. She started with being negative all of a sudden. And he said that's why he does not tell her everything, because she shoots him down and tries to make him feel bad. every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some people just need support. They don't need to be told they're wrong. You know, I have friends, they make bad decisions, and I just support them through those bad decisions. You know, I'll be there when it blows up, and I'm going to be there before. You know, I don't need to always point out what they're doing wrong, and I think that's kind of what she does. She wants to shoot Gabe down, like you said, and make him feel bad and make him feel like his decision-making and his picking of people to be with is inadequate. And nobody wants to hear that over and over. Yeah. So the fact that he still invited her to the wedding knowing that that's how she behaves, I feel like he was being a good brother. Yeah. Because she's a family member that I would leave off of the list, okay? Like, I'm just being honest. Monica, the way she behaved at that tell-all, and she made it completely about her, and never once offered an apology for leaving Gabe standing, because she was supposed to walk him down with his mom. She never once said, I'm sorry that I wasn't there. I'm sorry that this affected you. I'm sorry that I couldn't have witnessed this day with you. All she said was what he did wrong for her. Yep. And I was like, you weren't getting married. Why is this about you?
He apologized to her, and he's not the one that did anything wrong. But
exactly.
Yep. I mean, even his hug at the end wasn't good enough.
Yeah, that wasn't good enough either. She was never, nothing is ever good enough. Everything is, somebody needs to cater to Monica and make Monica happy and make Monica feel better. And I was like, I loved her in the beginning when I met her, and then I was like, at this tell-all, she's my least favorite person to show up to the tell-all. I was like, of all the people that shown up, I was like, she's really pissing me off. Like, everything that she said, her reasons for not going and why she felt like she deserved an apology. I was like, first of all, you need to apologize for him for flying all the way to Colombia and not going to the wedding. Yeah. That's disrespectful. That's rude. That's nasty. But then you flew all the way to NYC to be a part of a tell-all. So you could do that.
Yeah.
But you could not show up to a wedding for your own brother. Yeah. Like, that blew my mind. I was like, the things that people will do versus the things that they won't do blow my mind.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
So Rishi was in here, so let's talk about Rishi a little bit. So we saw a pretty emotional scene with Rishi tonight. And it was Jen who brought up the fact that Rishi's mom just kept saying over and over, like, you're too old, you're too old, you're too old. And let's be honest, telling a woman she's too old in any situation whatsoever is hurtful and mean. And you should probably not do that if you don't want to have something tossed at your face. Don't do that. So she was hurt by that, understandably. And she just felt like Rishi needed to say to her how hurtful and horrible that statement is. So do you agree with that? Do you feel like Rishi's mom needed to be aware? Because I think in their culture, women's age is not necessarily a vanity thing. It's more so like, can they bear children? You know, it has more to do with that. But, you know, in our culture, calling a woman old, it's just something you don't do unless you don't like this person. Like, that's not something that's not a word that we just throw around at people. We don't do that.
Right. But Rishi's not the one that called her old or said she was too old or even mentioned the way she went off on Rishi about it. If your mom ever says that again, we're never speaking. So when the mom watches that translated back, the mom's like, she's old. She's too old. She's too old. She's too old. Now it's done. Never speaking again. Like, to get mad at him over that was ridiculous. And then when she gets upset, he's so empathetic. And I love that. But it breaks my heart every time he cries. Like, breaks my heart. So just watching him tonight, I was like, how can you walk away from him? She literally is watching him cry on the screen and turns around and gives her number to Julian in the same sitting. Like,
yeah, that caught me. Yeah, Dee, what do you feel about that? Do you feel like, because she was kind of still in a relationship, because she said that they were still in a relationship, just not engaged, but she was giving her number to Julian. How do you feel about that?
That shocked me. Coming from Jen, that really shocked me. You know, I was like, what in the world? What? Why would you do that? You know, she's, you know, talking about how Rishi, she doesn't want Rishi talking to other women, but here she is giving her phone number out to someone else. Yep. And then she's talking about, well, I don't want to let an opportunity pass by.
Yeah.
What kind of opportunity are you talking about?
You're not,
you know, I mean,
because he's not available. plain and simple. So now you just pissed off somebody's fiance, literally.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, why would you do that? You know, I don't even know what to think about that. I really don't. I don't even know.
Yeah, that was a lot.
I don't know.
Why
would you do that?
I caught Julian's comment about, you got my number, give it to her. I kind of took that with a grain of salt. I didn't really think that Jen was going to run over and give her number. I mean, I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. I guess that was my jaw-dropping moment of the season, because
do you think that Julian was more casual and Jen did see it as like a relationship opportunity? Is that what you're saying?
Julian made it as a joke, because Julian is not on the market. I think that is no secret that he's not on the market. I think everybody knows that. And that was just kind of a joke. But Jen was like serious. She made the comment when it came out, I just love you. And I say that to people all the time. Oh my gosh, I just love you. I just love you. I say that all the time. But I've never said I just love you and then went and gave my phone number. Like, I don't love you like that. So that was pretty shocking.
Really.
Yeah.
I think what made it worse was watching him cry, because we were watching Rishi cry, and I was like, this is a real relationship to Rishi. Even though his mom doesn't see it that way, she won't give his blessing. This is a real relationship to him, because Jen was like, you're not serious about me. We're never going to get married. This is never going to go anywhere. But watching him cry and saying that he really wished that he could make this work and he wanted things to be different, it was kind of like she was taking things more lightly than him. She was just like, oh, well, I went back to India and we reconnected, but we were just having fun. It wasn't that serious. I don't think Rishi saw it that way, because Rishi was like, we're still engaged. I feel like that's still the woman that I want to marry. And she's like, well, clearly, unless your mom agrees with you, that'll never happen. But I feel like in Rishi's mind, he really did believe he was going to get his mom on board eventually. And I know that he's wrong. I do know. We've watched his mom's reaction. That's never going to be an option. But I don't think that he would have stayed with Jen and led her on for 3 years. I think Jen looked at it as, for 3 years, you had me on a pipe dream thinking that we were going to get married and you knew it was never going to happen. I don't believe Rishi knew deep down that this was going to happen the way that it did. I think that he was under the impression he was going to be able to convince his mom to let him marry Jen. I do believe that.
In his own time, without being forced.
Without Randy and Myra forcing information on his mom that she wasn't ready to hear. I feel like it probably would have been a longer process. And again, would Jen have wanted to be a part of another long process, because it had been 3 years already? But I think that if he would have stuck with his process, there might have been a better reaction. But his mom,
like, during the tell-all, he said, I'll tell my mom, I'll side with you, I'll pick you, all this stuff, after he already said that he would never pick somebody over his family. But now it's so forced. Like, this poor guy is feeling like, I absolutely have to do this because the woman I love just seriously put me on blast, like, for everybody to see. So now I have to do these things. So that's completely unfair too, and not a stable ground to start your marriage on, or your new engagement, or whatever they are right now. I think that's so sad. It's just, she shouldn't have put him in that position.
So what
exactly
next? What's next for Jen and Rishi? Do you think that they're going to keep trying? Do you think that we'll see them pop up on another show, or do you think that it is what it is?
I hope not, after she gave Julian her phone number. I mean, Rishi, come on, hello, move on. If he let you go that fast, the tell-all wasn't even over, and she's already given someone else her phone number, dude.
Yeah.
Run.
I think that
run.
Yeah. Jen's gonna be on the single life.
That was disrespectful.
Brian.
Oh, so Jen on the single life. Do you think we'll see Jen and Julian on the single life together? Is that something that we might see?
No.
So
not at all.
I hope not. I hope not.
Julian is taken, or at least that's what we believe. Can anyone verify that Julian is taken?
That's what I
like. Is he married?
He was married, and I know that for sure.
But is he married?
He was
married now.
I I think he's engaged now.
Oh, so he's taken. Okay, so I was hoping that we were gonna see Jen and Julian together, but I guess wait, this was filmed months ago. I wonder if Julian was not taken at the time of filming. Maybe yeah, maybe we're there's a timeline in between.
Yeah.
So it could be that Julian was completely single at the time of filming. We're talking months ago.
Yeah.
And then now whatever we thought was gonna happen with Jen.
Either way, Jen was in a relationship with Rishi, so why is she giving a man her number?
That is true. That is true.
And that is very disrespectful.
They were
very
still
disrespectful.
filming a tell-all, talking about the relationship they were currently in. And yeah, I agree with you 100%.
That's a first for TLC, for all the 90-day everything. Nobody has ever given their number and announced it that we know of.
Yeah, no.
At the tell-all.
TLC is making it more and more fun every season. So it's like, what's going to happen next?
I wanted to talk about the tell-all going back to its original format. Do you remember the Happily Ever After tell-all? It was a behind the scenes. We followed them to the hotel. We followed them out to having drinks. Did you prefer it going back to the normal format, or do you want it to continue where we can see more behind the scenes? How do you feel about it being a normal tell-all again?
I didn't mind the normal tell-all, but I feel like if we would have done the behind the scenes this time, we would have known a little bit more of Jen and Julian.
Right? I feel like we missed that. I feel like there's some things that we didn't get to see.
Yeah.
And I want more behind the scenes. Like, I don't know. I saw a lot of tweets tonight about Sean Robinson not asking the right questions. Guys, I know that people want Sean replaced, but I think the person writing the questions on the cards is the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Sean, because I know Sean is just reading what they hand her. But whoever is writing the questions for the tell-all, they're not what we really need. We want to get to the bottom of this. And I know you guys want to have spinoffs and you want to keep the storylines going, so you can't give us everything, because if you give us everything, then you're ruining the chances of a spinoff. But we still want to know what happened. We watched 15 episodes of this. You know, like, please give us a little more information so we feel like we got closure, because they're going to disappear for months and months. Yeah. And then we're going to forget. And then once they come back 5, 6, 7 months later on the spinoff, we barely remember what happened anyway. So just give us a little more to work with.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. I love Sean. I mean, I really do. I love Sean. She's she's one of the main people that I look forward to on the tell-alls, because she's been on the tell-all from ever since the tell-all started, you know. But I do agree that, you know, whoever's doing the writing on the cards, they need to make it a little bit more dramatic. You know what I'm saying? Like, let us get into it a little bit more. I mean, this tell-all was good, but it was a little boring on Sean's side to me. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, you know, because I didn't feel like she was in it like she's been in, like, in the past.
Yeah.
I like Wendy Williams. I don't know if you guys like Wendy Williams, but she will ask the craziest. I've seen people walk off of Wendy.
She has no filter.
Yes, they will. Back when she worked in radio, people would get up and just walk out in the middle of the interview. She would just say, look, this is what people think about you. Tell me. Because, you know, there were some questions that people wanted to be asked about Chris that were not asked. Yeah. I'm not going to say what those are about, but there were questions that people wanted to know. And Wendy Williams would have said it. You know, so I want Sean, whoever's writing the info for Sean, let Sean be a little more intrusive into the cast members and ask the questions that we really want. Because we're very, very engaged and immersed in these cast members, in these seasons, in these shows. We want answers. And then when the show ends, we feel like we don't get any closure. Yeah. We don't know what's going on. Like, we know that Chris and Jamie are over, but we don't know any of these. Because, okay, let's talk about the Chris and Jamie interaction. And Chris's mom was there as well. And, well, yeah, I was saying that I wish Wendy Williams would host a tell-all, but I don't think she's doing TV anymore. Somebody just said that. I don't think she's doing TV anymore, but I would love that. But let's talk about this. Chris and...
In here?
Hmm?
Where's Jamie? Is Jamie in here? Because she was supposed to join us tonight.
Jamie's not in here.
Not? Where the heck?
Someone tagged Jamie in the comments. So I want to talk about the interaction between Chris's mom and Sean. So Chris's mom said that there is thousands and thousands of dollars being sent to Jamie via PayPal. And then Jamie verified that there was $1,740 some sent in PayPal. So there's some misinformation. I mean, that's thousand, not thousands. So, and there's been number discrepancies throughout the tell-all. Chris says $10,000. Jamie said $1,550 on the last one, and then there was $1,740 on this one. I think the main issue here is the main topic of conversation in the relationship between Jamie and Chris was money. And I think that's why it didn't work. And there was a debate on Twitter that was going on where people said, if you're in a relationship or in a marriage, is it one person's responsibility to pay rent, or is it both people's responsibility? Like, why did they make this such a huge issue? Why couldn't they just come together and make a plan and just stick with that plan? It was always an argument or a fight. Because, you know, when most people have a financial issue, you sit down, you have a conversation, and you're like, look, let's make this a team effort. Let's make it so where it's not all on one person. We can all feel like we're getting along. They never made it past the conversation stage, because every time the topic came up, Chris started screaming, right? Isn't that what we saw? Chris just started screaming, or she got up and left, walked away from the computer, didn't want to talk to her, stopped calling her for days, weeks at a time. That is never going to resolve itself, right? Like, I feel like Jamie never had the option to meet Chris anywhere in any type of middle ground, side ground, up, down. It doesn't matter, because Chris never gave her the option to talk about it.
Yeah. But Jamie came in hot with the receipts. Chris had nothing, because one of her other problems is someone tried to steal her identity. I'm sorry, Chris. Nobody wants to be you. I promise. Nobody's stealing nothing. Like, that was just another story. Another story. She had no proof. And then the mom tried to say, oh yeah, it was in the thousands and thousands. But Jamie had receipts again. Jamie was on it and ready to go, because everything that was coming out of their mouth was lies. The only reason they had this apartment is because Chris wanted it with the American amenities. Jamie did the best she could, so she got the apartment. Chris said, oh, it's a little too much, but it's okay. So,
First
first
of all, $550 is like free.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if for an apartment where you can live there and not be like assaulted or worse, like $550 a month is free. Like, that apartment was nice. From what we saw, from what they showed on the show, sign me up. $550? Like, come on now. That's like, I can't even fathom.
I'm from a small southern town, and the apartments here, I mean, a 1-bedroom apartment, and then it's in part of the town where it's like, you hope you don't get shot at. Yes. They start around $1,200-$1,300 for a 1-bedroom. I mean, so if you want to be on the good side of the town, you're going to be paying $2,000 plus. Right. Yep. So, I mean, $550, heck yeah, let's go to Columbia. It's cheaper over there, you know. But she was also saying too, is what I was like, not in my head. Okay, she says that she doesn't have that account anymore. You can still get documents even though you don't have your account.
I learned that on Judge Judy, because Judge Judy said, she's like, just because you don't have the account, you can still contact that bank. It's legal process for them to keep records of bank information. So she's like, you could have closed that account 5 years ago. They have records and statements that you can request. So it is very true. If that bank account ever existed, she can request records. She can request anything that she needs. She just has to call the number and get them to send the documentation. Sometimes you can go online, you can print it out, depending on the type of situation there was. So I want to talk about her ex-boyfriend, and she told us a story. She said she went to her ex-boyfriend's house, kicked in the door, and shattered his phone.
Which is...
Come on now.
That by itself is a felony in America.
Which, she admitted to on television.
I mean, not only did you break into somebody's house, but you kicked their door in and you smashed their phone. If you smash someone's phone, that is considered preventing them from calling for help, no matter what. They cannot call 911 now. Back in the day, if you cut the phone line, that was the same thing. That's a felony in America. So we'll just add a felony to whatever charges she currently has, because we know there's some. She's got a car accident, neck injury, a back injury, needs $1 billion surgery. She's got narcolepsy and a stolen motorcycle and a son in jail. And the list goes on. And now somebody stole her identity because she's so awesome that, like, I'm just I'm so team Jamie that I don't know how anybody can even, I don't know how anybody can even think that Chris is of sound mind, period.
Jamie said,
still,
no, go ahead.
She's doing this through the whole thing. Tell me she's of sound mind. She is not of sound mind. I'm not outright saying it, but everybody knows where I'm going with it.
Okay, well, it's what blew my mind. Everything that come out of Chris's mouth was a lie, you know. But it's what really blew my mind is whenever she said that her and Jamie got into a fight. She left work because she was upset. She flipped her car but walked away from it.
Yeah.
How are you going to flip your car and not get some kind of injuries? I mean, and then he's talking about you have neck problems, and then you're laid up in Colombia and saying you couldn't move, that an airplane ride was traumatic on your neck, but you flip your car and you walk away from it, and then you go back to Colombia, and then you are jumping into the pool head first.
Yep.
Come on. Seriously?
Your car
Come on, Chris. Seriously?
She said
oh my God.
Because of an argument with Jamie, and that Jamie should have known that. Okay, right then and there, if that's the case, you should have ended the relationship. You should have ended it. Because if you're so angry with somebody, you go out and wreck your freaking car. Like, I don't ever want to talk to you again. I was that pissed off that I wrecked my car.
I have a question. So having an argument while driving is like flipping your car situation, because I argue in the car on the phone. Like, it's through Bluetooth, right? So maybe he doesn't have.
Sober. Are you sober when you're doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I rest.
Because I don't know. I yell at people.
That's right there, George.
Rest my case.
Because I was gonna say, I yell at people all the time. Like, if I'm like having a bad day or and I'm like yelling, I'll be on the freeway like going 80 miles, but I'm still yelling at somebody to get, you know, business done. Businesses don't run themselves. So I'm like, I don't know. I've never like flipped my car. Like, it's pretty easy to have a hands-free conversation, you know, in the car. So and now I get what you're saying though, because I was like, that's what I was missing. Because I was like, I've had conversations, you know, pretty heated conversations on the highway, you know, in the car. You know, when somebody wants to yell at me, they don't discriminate on the time they want to yell at me. They just call me whenever. So, okay, what is the deal with the money? Where can we land on the money? Did Chris really give Jamie $10,000? Or do you think she's saying that since she met her, even her plane tickets, even her going over there at the apartment, is she like accumulating a total of their relationship? Because I don't think that's fair. When you enter into a relationship, you don't keep a running total of what you do in that relationship or that marriage. That's just part of the relationship.
I don't even think she spent that much accumulated, including her flights. I just don't think so. I don't think she's ever had that kind of money, in my honest opinion. You don't make that kind of money to just do funsies things when you're power washing driveways and you can't work because you have any problems.
When you said that, it made me think about something. She was upset because $550 was a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
But she's saying that she spent 10 grand.
Yeah.
And they'd only known each other a year. So I don't know. This is really hard for me because I'm trying to do the math, and math is like my thing. Like, I'm not a genius, but math is my thing. I can do math left, right, all night, 24/7. So I was trying to do the math, and I was like, I don't really know if the $10,000 number is even an accumulative number. Because I was like, they didn't even buy the food truck. Because I was trying to think, what would Jamie have possibly done with the $10,000? She was living in that apartment. She said she bought her own food. She bought her own clothes. She was doing everything else on her own. She only asked for one thing, and that was the rent, because it was an apartment that was above the means of a person living in that country. That was the only reason why she asked for help, because Jamie would have moved them into a more appropriate priced apartment. But like you said, Chris wanted the American amenities, which, you know, Americans, that's how they are. We saw that with Danielle this season. She went to the first $2,000 a month apartment she found in the DR. I didn't even know they existed, but they do. And that's what, you know, Americans do. So she wanted that higher priced apartment. So that's how they ended up there. But Jamie was not looking for a sugar mama. I'm going to say that because Chris's mom was like, oh, she wanted a sugar mama. She wanted a better life. Jamie didn't get a car out of this relationship. Jamie didn't get a Versace bag out of this relationship. Jamie didn't get a Louis bag. She didn't get any Louboutins. Okay, so if she was looking for a sugar mama, she didn't get one. Right?
The only thing I got from the relationship is PTSD. I mean,
that's it, right? Because when they keep trying to label her as a gold digger, and I'm like, well, show me her gold. Show me what she got. Like, show me what you gave her.
Now, I do need to bring this up.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all realize what Tim and Veronica was talking about. Okay, Tim said that, of course, you know, he likes Colombian women. Yeah. That there's no way possible that she kept Jamie without sending a lot of money. Well, you can't compare Jamie to crap. What was her name?
Jennifer.
Huh?
Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer. That's it. You cannot compare Jamie to Jennifer because Jamie, by all means, is nothing compared to Jennifer. We all knew from the first episode with Tim and Jennifer that she was in it for the money. Yes. She wanted that green card. She wasn't that's who she was. Yep. I never seen, you know, Jamie ask for anything other than to help pay the bills. And it wouldn't have been so bad if Chris hadn't told Jamie to quit her job.
Right.
Yep.
So
completely agree. Can we get Jamie in here now?
Hi, Jamie.
Come in.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Jamie asked for one thing, and that was for the rent, because it was an apartment that, you know, for someone living in that country, that was high. Like the same in Johan's situation. He was like, I could give you my entire paycheck. It's not going to be a chunk of what this apartment is, because this is just beyond the means of a local person in this country. And Jamie was in that same situation. There was no way that she could afford that. Even I think if she was working, the amount of money they make over there is just so much lower than what we are used to.
Jamie even said she only got 1 month's rent. So Jamie's the one that had to pick up the slack. So $1,750, even if, I mean, that if that was all just cash, that would still only be 3 months rent. So
and that's not even sending $1,000 a month. Even if she did send Jamie $10,000, there's 12 months in a year.
Right.
So that wasn't even $1,000 a month.
Yep.
And then
that's ridiculous.
She's wanting to say $550 is a lot of money for rent.
Right.
Seriously? Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
So
whatever.
Debbie said something at the very tail end of the tell-all that got me a little worried. She said that she hasn't closed the door on her and Osama. And she said Julian and her daughter Sandy obviously want that door closed, locked, the key broken in half, set on fire, burned, melted down, and then buried into the core of the earth. But she said that she's not closed off to, hi, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
She's not closed off to leaving that door open. And what does that mean exactly? Because does that mean that she would be open to going back to Morocco and being in a relationship with him? Like, what does she mean by that?
They're still in a relationship. That's why nobody attacked Osama. Osama should have been one of the main people that was being attacked.
Yes. That's
why nothing was said. I thought they were, but Miss Debbie, she proved my point tonight. They're still in a relationship.
All of that discredited all of Debbie's criticization of everybody there. With that just says that she's not thinking clearly. If she's going to go back.
Hello.
Hi.
Now you can.
I love my glasses. This is my very old glasses.
You're
crazy.
Oh, I like the look though. I like it.
Oh, thank you. But this is very, very, very old glasses, and I know look good myself right now.
You look fine, but we've been talking about you a lot, and I know that you might have something to add after this happens. So if you want to fill us in on anything that we may have said that wasn't true or wasn't accurate, we're open to hearing. You know, what happened when the cameras weren't rolling? Like, how did this happen?
Really, and right now I don't feel upset, you know. And in this moment, I feel so mad because I think the old people attack me and say, for example, Miss Debbie, and tell me you are the predator, and say, what? I can't believe that, because I think the predator or sugar baby need too many money, and I don't have money. And I think I remember before this is a star, this crazy show star. I remember I talked too many times with Chris and say I need too many papers for the other apartment. Maybe wait for my apartment, and maybe later you come here and you look at the city, what is the best site. And she say no, because I need the apartment, I need a very big apartment because my family, my friends coming. And okay, and this is, for me, is a big problem in here, because I know pay one rent automatically, and this person talk, or and here is in English, I don't know who say, es como una compañía que se llama Credibanco, and automáticamente cuando tú dejas de pagar una renta, llaman al Credibanco y tú quedas con un crédito negativo. Yo no puedo. I can have a negative credit or a negative, because I'm immigrant. And I'm here in 8 years, and this is it's very important for me. And this is the reason I have everything proved. She don't send me this money. And I need say, because I think this is no good for Miss Debbie say that, and I feel very bad for Miss Debbie right now, because I don't understand why she look at me in Osama. She look at me, she looks Osama. It is never similar. This first moment, and I love Chris. I'm really, in this moment, I love Chris, and I'm trying to say that, Didi, si me puedes ayudar con esto, porque tengo que decirlo en español, porque no puedo expresarlo en inglés, pero desde el primer momento, yo supe que Chris no tenía dinero. Yo
She
supe
said
que
from
Chris
the
era una
beginning that she
mujer.
and Chris didn't have money.
Yeah.
Oh.
Que yo sabía que Chris era una mujer trabajadora. Yo me enamoré de ese sentimiento de no estar sola. Yo vivo sola en este país. Ustedes pueden ver ahorita, me perdonen el desastre, pero ustedes ven para todos lados y yo estoy sola todo el tiempo. Incluso ahorita tengo a Zoe dormida en la cama y yo estoy acá sola. So, I'm living alone in this country. I'm alone all the time. Look at this. I'm alone all the time. Zoe is sleeping in the bed, okay? And I'm alone all the time. And in the first moment I meet Chris, she is very special woman for me, okay? And she tried to help me, and she, come on, I love you, you are beautiful. And I love this feeling.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is very important for me, because some people say, what do you look? I don't look the physical person, no, I don't look the other things. I look how I'm feeling. We talk with her, okay? And I feel so bad for her right now, and because in the past I love her, and I look the person say too many things bad with her, and I feel bad because I love this woman.
Yeah.
I really love this woman, and I think she, and I feel bad because she trying to say you are a bad person, Jamie.
Yeah.
And I'm a bad person.
Yep.
I'm trying to be a good person. Of course, it's hard, it's difficult, but I'm trying. And my feelings, mis sentimientos están heridos en este momento, es solo porque ella trató de decir que yo era una mala persona y que la estaba tratando de dejar mal. Yo tenía las pruebas, yo tengo las pruebas. Hay muchas, yo todavía tengo las conversaciones, incluso ella en el tell all, esto no salió, esto lo editaron, pero ella en el tell all dijo que era mentira, que ella me había pedido a mí las conversaciones, y yo nunca las tuve. Y después dijo que ella había ido a la casa de este señor. Entonces, no entiendo cómo las personas, cómo los otros miembros del cast no fueron contra ella. Sí voy a decir algo, y realmente esto me hizo sentir muy bien, y eso me lo dijo un fanático hoy. Me dijo, Jamie, si es cierto que a todos le pidieron que fueran más fáciles con Chris, es porque tú eres extremadamente fuerte. Y yo no tengo duda de eso.
Yeah.
Didi, can you translate?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. No, so what she was talking about is that her feelings is really hurt right now because, you know, her feelings were strong and were true towards Chris, and Chris was trying to turn the tables around to make it look like she was the bad person, and that ¿qué dijiste de un fanático que le dije?
Oh, que un fan me dijo esta mañana, me lo dijo esta mañana, que si todo el elenco, si le habían dicho a todos que fueran más fáciles por Chris, era porque yo era extremadamente fuerte. Y yo no tengo duda de eso.
She said that a fan told her this morning is the reason why it was a lot easy for Chris is because Jamie was a really strong woman.
Wow. It was just, I was so proud of you for coming in hot with your receipts. You had proof of everything. You composed yourself. You handled it like a champ. But all through the show, Chris didn't say very nice things about you, but you never said anything bad about her. And that's okay.
No, I think the only moment I'll say, and I know I don't think there's bad things, but the only moment I'll say, maybe I'm really mad, and they tell all and they finish and say, I'm very worried for your mental health team, because I'm very worried for your mental health team. But first, one thing is you say lies, but you know this is lie. But the other is you say lies and you believe your lies.
Right.
This is very difficult. It's very different. And for me, this is very, very hard. And I'm really, in this moment, I say, I don't think that. But I think it's so mad and say, I can't believe that. You have a mental health problems.
So
That's the only one to say.
So Jamie, do you feel like there was a time where Chris changed, where she started behaving differently? Like, how long after you guys got married did that happen?
Of course. Chris, I'm sorry. I don't look good, but my glasses hurt here. I think she changed, and the first moment in Colombia, she arrived in Colombia. She changed immediately. And this moment, I think she's very different.
Yeah,
She very, very. She not like nothing, for example.
So the girl that you were talking to online, when you met her in person, were they two different people? Do you feel like they weren't the same person?
Yeah, totally. It's very funny because she go to United States, for example. This is a history I remember right now. I'm here in Colombia. She need to go to United States. Okay, go. In this moment, I have an ex man ex, okay? And this one texts me, and he texts me, I need to talk to you because I need you to forgive me. I'm sorry, I need you, sorry me, ¿cómo lo digo? Que me perdone, necesito que me perdone, forgive me?
Yeah, forgive me.
Yeah.
Okay. He texts me, please, I need forgive me. Why? Because I right now a new religion and I need forgiveness. This is not my problem. I'm blocked.
Right.
And it's funny for me because it's funny. It's not my fault. It's your problem. And I talk to Chris and say, hi Chris. Oh, you know, I have this problem for this man. And oh my God, you are a prostitute. Maybe you go to bed with her. Oh. I'm lesbian, baby.
Yeah.
And this woman is like, what? And very different woman. It's very different. I can talk with her.
Yeah.
She come here in Colombia. I never talk again with her. Never.
Wow.
Really?
So what happened after she shoved you? What? Because like you said, you see the crazy I'm dealing with, and that was it. Cut it there. We didn't see any more. What happened after that?
Did you leave in different cars?
When, perdóname, ¿me puedes traducir la pregunta porque no la entiendo? No la entendí bien. O sea, lo que entendí creo que no es lo que me están preguntando.
Dice que sí, cuando ustedes se fueron en el mismo carro o se fueron separados.
I'm very relaxed person, you know, and I don't like the problems, and I'm working too much in Venezuela for models and I know this person's complicated is difficult for us, okay? And in this moment, I remember the production called me. You wanted different cars or one car? I said, for me, it's okay. Different, same, it's okay. I'm relaxed. I know half nothing. And she said, different cars. Okay, different cars.
So,
the idea for different cars is Chris.
So did production step in when that happened, or did they just let?
Did they protect you after that?
Yes,
okay.
yes. The productions is very amazing, and in reality, he told me, you can, along with Chris, you can, because you are my responsibility. I say, okay, she go. She go to the hotel because this is my house.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to know, how much money did Chris really send you? Because I know that you have receipts and you can tell us exactly a number, because we can't get a straight number out of Chris or her mom.
Yes. Look, I have the proof and I have the receipt. But in this moment, and Sean tell me how much money, and mi total fue desde toda la relación. My totality is the whole relationship. It's first day I meet Chris, and right now 1749. I might not remember. I don't remember that, but I think that. But this moment she arrived in Colombia is other month. This is no. Is bare is no. This I think is 1250. She come here.
Wow.
Okay, got it.
El problema aquí, si quieres me ayudas a traducir, Didi, qué pena. Cuando ella llegó a Colombia, fueron 550 más 750.
Then when she got to Colombia, it was, dijiste 700 más 550?
Yes, sí.
Okay. When she got to Colombia, it was 700, and then it was 550 when she got to Colombia.
Okay.
Porque el resto del dinero que ella envió fue cuando yo me vi muy grave de COVID y le pedí ayuda porque no me alcanzó el dinero para pagar la renta. O sea, yo había pagado la mitad de la renta y me faltaba la otra mitad. Y le pedí ayuda en ese momento. Entonces ella comenzó a mandarme un poco para ayudarme después que yo me recuperé del COVID.
And the other part of the money that she sent is whenever Jamie got sick with the COVID, that she asked Chris to help with half of the rent because she didn't have enough for all of the rent.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
So was there any more talk about the food truck, or was that just a pipe dream? Was that actually supposed to happen?
It's funny that because she say, I remember it, I don't know, remember this the first episode or the second episode, and see it in the floor of the apartment, and she say, I sold my house.
Mm-hmm.
I have money for the business, for everything. Don't worry. But in this moment, she go to the look and look at the food truck. She say, I don't have money for this.
Really?
Wow.
Yes. And addiction in the production editions, and say, I remember she talked to me and say, maybe I can my other house go to the, I don't remember sus palabras, pero yo sé que ella dijo que iba a hipotecar su otra casa y yo dije que no, que yo no iba a aceptar eso.
¿Como que lo vendiera o que lo rentara?
No, que la iba a hipotecar, que se le iba a dar el banco para que el banco
Oh,
le diera el
okay,
crédito.
pond. Okay. She was talking about that her other house that she told Jamie that she could possibly pawn like the title for her other house, and Jamie told her not to, that she did not want her to do that. That she was not in agreement with it.
Because she said you're selfish. But this moment, I think no, you can't say that because you have children. You have children. I can't.
Right.
I don't feel good for this. And I remember for the wedding day, you, George, in the Twitter, you have a tweet and say, "Oh, so beautiful." Who is rooms? Paige, Chris. I say, no, she don't pay that. I'm paid.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I'm paid my wedding. I pay my wedding. She paid my dress and my shoes, but I'm paying my wedding.
So throughout the season, she made it seem like every dime that was spent came from her. So can we get an idea of what she actually paid for versus what you were paying for? Like, were you buying your own food, your own clothes?
She paid this coach.
Okay.
And this coach. Maybe I'll look into you. And this coach.
Wow.
So all the other furniture you bought?
This is only she buy. No more. Oh, this.
Wow.
She paid this.
That is.
This only she paid. And the person say, "Oh, you only worry is the bills or the money." No, I know. I don't care the money because her attitude is different. She see it with me in my birthday party. She called me and she say, "Jamie, I'm sorry, and I have a problem. You know, I have a problem for my son. You know, I have a problem for my everything." Wherever she want, I understand and say, okay, but she don't like more. Not tell me more lies. This is my only problem. And she trying to say my relationship is over because Jamie cheating, but this is not true. Because in this conversation, never say Jamie cheating.
So you had a conversation with another woman when she disappeared for a month. That's when she tried to say that you cheated. Where did this woman live? Did this woman live in Texas?
Yes.
So you never.
In this moment, the only woman in my life, other woman, I'm sorry, my cell phone no have too many bats, and right now I have to charge it. Okay, sorry. And the only woman in my life, other woman, is the woman in Texas. And she'll come here in my life before she coming. Before Chris coming, this woman texts me.
Yeah.
Chris disappeared for 1 month. In the first or second episode, she said, "I'm disappeared for 3 weekends." I don't remember. But I think she said that. But she said, "I'm disappeared for 3 weeks."
Wow.
And in the tell-all, she said, "I'm disappeared for 5 days."
Right. 5 days is what she said.
Yeah.
Who is
Chris'
the
story
truth?
was always changing, though. Chris's story was always changing, and she could never remember what she said the time, before the next conversation. She could never remember what she said. So.
Of course, this is more personal because this is more personal. This is this moment she disappeared in my birthday, 1st July, in 30 days maybe. Okay, my birthday is very soon. She called me and she said, "I'm so sorry. I have a problems because financial problems, and I feel so bad because she trying to promise. She promised she coming. Hi Richie." And she say, "I'm go to Colombia for your birthday." I say, "Okay." And she disappeared for 20 days, and she called me for my birthday and say, "I'm so sorry. I have a financial problems, and I'm very concerned because I can't go to Colombia." Okay, it's okay. Don't worry, and continue my life. And she come here in my bed. She tell me, "I'm so sorry for disappearing, but I feel very bad with you because I feel very strong feelings with you. This is the reason for disappear. In this moment, I'm looking at her and say, what? But you tell me you had a financial problems.
Yeah.
And she say, no, this is an excuse. So, okay.
All right, I gotta ask this. What is the deal with her ex-boyfriend and him contacting you and sending you photos? Because she gave us an explanation on the tell-all that we couldn't make sense of. So can you tell us exactly how that interaction took place? Like how he reached out to you, what the conversation was?
This conversation is the same time for the woman Texas.
Okay.
This is other point for me because Chris and I sit and talk and say, no talk about the woman Texas and you no talk about my ex-boyfriend. Okay. Good. But she looked at the camera and she said, she chased me for the woman Texas.
Yeah.
But I say, okay, don't worry, it's okay. No, don't worry. Yes, she disappeared. It's okay for me. I don't worry. But in this moment, I feel so mad because she said, oh, she changed me. And say the same and the tell. Oh, she changed me. But she never say, in this moment, I'm changing Jamie.
Yeah.
So she said at the tell-all that the photos were old. So you're telling us that the photos that he sent you were very recent. They were current photos.
Perdóname, ¿me traduce, Dini?
Sí, dice que en el chelo ella estaba diciendo que las fotos que él te mandó, que eran fotos viejos de ella, de anterior. Pero ¿eran fotos de reciente o eran fotos de anterior?
I'm trying to call Chris all days in the morning. All days in the morning. Mm-hmm. Maybe 7 in the morning because I go to work in the night. I'm trying to call for videos. This day is a Wednesday. And I remember I'm trying to call and she no answer me. Again, she no answer me. For me, it's normal because she disappears sometimes.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, she disappeared again. Go my work. And my work, in this moment, I know look too many social medias. I look at the social media good right now. And I look at Facebook. In Facebook, I look and have one email. I don't know, remember, but I say it for Facebook. And what is this? And the boyfriend say, my girlfriend is very busy right now. And send me the pictures. And I say, oh my God, what is this? In this moment, I'm relaxed. I think, say, okay. I call Chris again. It's so funny because she say, this is very old. But this the same clothes for the photos and the look she used it these days.
Wow.
I'm very calm and relaxed person, but I know it's stupid.
Yeah.
She trying to talk, and this moment I think, okay, and she say I'm cheating for the Texas woman. Okay, maybe she cheating for vendetta. Okay, good. But this is not the first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And I'm trying to block him, and he used others' accounts. And I look at the others' account right now. All accounts no exist.
So the 5 months that she was gone, do you think that she was with this guy? Do you think that that's the case?
No.
Or do you?
No.
She was in jail. That's my.
I don't know.
That's a theory.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
That's
I don't have
theory.
idea about nothing.
We can't prove that. That's a theory. But
That's
what?
yeah.
What's the timeline that you got these photos? Was this during the month that she disappeared?
Yes.
Okay, so it was during that month. Okay.
Yes. Maybe my birthday is 1st July. These photos is maybe 5 July.
Wow.
And she was back in Colombia a month later, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe 1 year later.
Oh, 1 year. Oh, so our timeline is different from TV. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Yes, it's very different.
Yeah.
Well, she said that she came back. She was a month late for your birthday. So is that when the photos were happening during that timeline?
The photos is in July 2022.
Okay, so we're talking a year before. Okay.
No. That's still...
No, 2021. Sorry, 2021.
Okay.
I'm married in the 2022.
So this was before.
Sorry, 2021.
This was before that you met in person, right? Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Before.
I understand.
So,
yes.
Question that is just driving me crazy is all of her different excuses for everything. She's got neck pain, back pain, the car accident, the motorcycle, the identity theft, the son, the narcolepsy. There's always something. Was it just a different excuse every single time? Just
yes, because the other excuse, and you never listen, is she living in here, and she say, I need to go to my dog. I need to go because I need to pick up to my dog because I can't live in other country without my dog. And I say, okay, you need to go to dog. And other day I say, my son's birthday. Okay, I need to go to my battle home. Okay, I need my motorcycle. Okay, go. And she say she no come back for my birthday because other excuse because she have too many excuses.
yeah.
She say all the time. She say different things.
Yeah.
How long was she in Colombia total? That was my, because it seemed like she wasn't in Colombia for that long. But I know we didn't see everything. I know they don't film everything. How long was she physically there?
20 days.
Wow.
No, one month.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, because she come here in Colombia in maybe February 10, and she go 20 March.
Wow.
Get out. So you guys only saw each other for 20 days.
Yes, in 20 days, all filmings. Maybe.
Wow.
No, say 20 days. Say 1 month. 1 month. She here 1 month. But in 1 month, 20 days is filming.
Wow.
That's insane. So there was only 10 days where you guys were interacting without cameras.
Yes. Maybe 10 days because the others is photo shoots, the others is an interviews. I have more days in the filming, but filming with her 20 days.
So you didn't have any time to get to know her in person. You literally, she's a stranger to you in person, right?
I think I believe in the love, and I think she really loved me, and I think it's real, her feelings. Maybe sometimes I think she maybe is nervous for the cams, maybe nervous for the show, and she is different for this. I'm trying in my mind and say very excuse for her attitude, but she never, no. And I think as she come back, I'm trying to. In the conversation I have for Alex, he tell me too many times, no more, get out, don't, no more. And I say, I know, because I'm married. I need to try to look at the person I'm in love.
Yeah.
But
so Was Chris more cold towards you when the cameras were on? Because I think people are under the impression that she's more mean and cold when people are watching. Was she nicer to you when the cameras weren't on? Because we felt like she wasn't nice to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can talk. I can talk right now. I can talk.
It's like every time you said something and you were right, she would just get louder. Like she told you, don't yell, don't raise your voice. But every time she would say something, she would get louder and louder and louder and then leave. She would never address the problems or speak, like have an adult conversation.
No, all the time I have problems with Chris. All the time, Carla, all the time. And right now, I'm a very spiritual person. I'm trying to meditate and trying to think who is bad, what happened. All days in the shower and come back to my work, come back to the gym, go to the shower, and I think what happened in the world, who is better, who is bad, what need the best, anything. And I remember one day and say, okay, maybe I'm called to you, and you say, I'm sorry, I don't know, I'm busy, I'm eat, I'm talk to my mom, it's okay, okay? But what you say, I'm sorry, I'm talk to my mom and eat and in the car and I can talk, it's too many things for you saying I can, okay? Right now, I think I say it's too many excuses. Too many say no. And I think it's lies.
Yeah.
But I need to say that. I think this right now. In this moment and say, oh my gosh, she's busy all the time.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to see those things when you're in love because your thinking is clouded. You want to believe that they're not lying to you and they're being honest. Because I do that. I do the same thing. I let people tell me whatever they tell me and I believe it because I just want things to work.
Yeah.
But I think that now that you kind of see how things ended up, you can go back and look at the things that happened in the past and you can identify what was really happening now.
Yeah. Yes, I look my past and look at this moment. And really, for example, in my wedding, I'm so happy.
Right.
I'm really happy. I say this small, my family is not here, but it's okay for me. Oh, this is other point to say, a little moment to say, all people say, you need to talk to your mom, you need to talk. No, I'm okay with, I'm talking to my mom. Yes, I'm talking to my mom in my moment, in her moment. I live here very far away from my mom, and I can a video call and say, hi, mom, I'm gay, bye. I can say that, okay?
Yeah.
And I never imagined and say, she immigrant, I'm living in Colombia and meet a woman and marriage and show. I never for my man, never happened that.
Yeah.
And I need to talk to my mom, and I go to talk to my mom in my moment. Okay. Oh, I forget what you talk. I'm sorry. I forget. I'm sorry. Well, who is the question?
What was the question? Dee, what were we talking about?
Oh, she was answering the questions about about the mom and how the people are asking why she doesn't talk to her mom.
Yeah.
Yes, but I forgive why I said this point. Oh, in my wedding, I feel so happy. In my wedding, I'm so happy. And my dress, I love my dress. The cake is amazing. The cake is so good. The food is so good. In the hotel is amazing. Oh, I love my wedding. It
was a pretty wedding,
it's okay for me.
It was pretty.
I love my wedding. I really love my wedding.
But do you feel
like she planned it all. Like this was a big surprise for you.
Yes, it's, but I love my wedding. And right now, I think, oh my God, I don't feel so good in my wedding, but she no understand nothing in my wedding, and she don't worry about what happened.
Yes.
What did you say?
Yep.
And
we talked.
And I think really she loved me, and really she understand who es ella, o sea, yo en este momento, hoy quiero, no sé, y es lo único que pienso, por eso que yo les decía que en mi boda me sentía tan bien, porque yo en este momento pienso y digo, oye, pero ella no entendió nada de lo que pasó en mi boda, entonces, ¿será que ella realmente estaba entendiendo el compromiso que estábamos haciendo?
She was really questioning, like, in the time of the day they got married, because she didn't understand anything that they were saying. So Jamie was really starting to question, did she even really love her? Because she didn't even understand. She didn't even ask what they were saying, nothing.
That was my next question. That was definitely my next question, because I was like, do you feel like she was as happy and in love as you were on your wedding day? That's what I was wondering, because I felt like you were very happy. This was your dream. This was what you wanted. And it kind of seemed like she was just, let's get this over with. That's just the feeling that I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Sometimes I receive a little comments, because this is other things. All people, in my Instagram, I have haters, trolls, people talk bad about Chris, talk with me, and okay, talk, everyone talk. She blocked all people.
Yeah.
She blocked all people. And all people tell me, all people say, oh, your wife blocked me. I said,
yeah.
One fan say, oh, it's very rude for your part, because all words is in Spanish and Chris no understand nothing. But I have a very big production. Yeah. I swear, she say, I need one people translator for me, thank you. And one people translator.
Yeah.
But she never said nothing. She never said that.
Wow.
Okay. So the whole time that y'all were together, she never asked for a translator to be able to understand you more, for y'all to have a better conversation?
No, she never tell me what he said. But I remember in the finish today, I sit in the couch and say, I understand. I know you know understand how he say what he said in this moment, and I wanna just say, well, okay, and translate all my votes at this moment.
Yeah.
But the waiting and the ceremony, no.
Wow.
That would have been the main time that she would even want a translator, so they could both of them could understand what each one was saying, because they were, from what I've seen or understood, they were trying to bring, you guys were trying to bring both cultures together, the American culture and your culture. Okay, well, then if that was true, she should have had a translator there for the pastor to translate, and then vice versa for Jamie. That way they could have understood everything that was being said. To me, it's like Chris just wanted to get married, just wanted to get it over with, and that's that. Right. She wasn't really involved. She she really didn't care.
Yes, this is my point. And I remember for the wedding, I have a little ceremony, I say for Colarena, and she don't have idea what happened.
Yeah.
And she don't understand nothing what the people say. And I think okay for her, but I think, for example, I'm an immigrant and I moved to the other country. I can say I'm Venezuelan and I'm here and all days I need to eat arepa. I need adapt. It's my responsibility adaptarme a este país. Ella se vino para acá, ella sabía que se tenía que adaptar a este país. Yo le regalé un diccionario. And I remember, I don't know your look, but she come here in Colombia, she arrived in my apartment, I give a dictionary, you know?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Spanish and English. She never learning.
Wow.
She never
Jamie was saying
opened.
that she's Venezuelan. She went to Colombia. She had to adapt to the Colombian way. Chris knew that she was going to Colombia, so she should have tried to adapt to the Colombian way. And when she got there, she gave her the dictionary that was in Spanish and English.
Okay.
And here's the dictionary.
So it's almost like Chris never had any intentions of staying there.
Yeah, like she didn't have any
Right.
intentions for
I
anything.
think this
Yeah.
way now. And look, it's here. I have the proof.
That's
You-
amazing.
You have all the proof. I think that's what we are so intrigued by, because you produced every piece of proof and she didn't produce any. And it's like we be compelled by the evidence. You know, we want to see the stories that can be corroborated, and you tell us the proof.
And really, I know my intention for this is not to say, I never imagined this go to the down. Never imagined that. All the time I think my marriage is the best, my marriage is the woman this, I love this woman. But in this, I'm soy muy organizada.
Yeah.
She's real organized.
Yeah, and my finances, my bank, everything is perfect for me. And this is the reason I have everything, because I'm not crazy, and because I'm immigrant, and sometimes call me la entidad que se encarga aquí de los taxes, call me and say, hey, this money, why? Okay, I need what happened for this money, okay? And this is my responsibility, okay?
Yeah.
And this is the reason I have everything, and I'm longer.
So are you completely over Chris? Like, is there an opportunity, like Debbie said on the tell-all that she's open to talking to Osama again. Would you ever talk to Chris again?
No. No.
Be on my
No, because very important for me is she touched me.
Right?
yes.
And she touched me, no. I no have opportunity for
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Good for you.
She no have opportunity for touch, she no have opportunity for nothing, because for me, she
Yeah.
touched me.
Yes.
And this no have never excuse. She no, she excuse about, oh, as and I'm mad and she need no, you have problems, but you can't touch me.
Yeah.
And my attitude is bad because no go, okay, you go, and I'm crazy.
Yeah.
But you no touch me, and this the problem. She never touched me. No, I can.
Yeah.
I can talk to her. I can talk to her. I don't care, and really, I'm block all her family
Good.
for all time
Good.
because I don't need nothing. Guys, I need to go to work, you know, and I'm very in love for all of you. And thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much because I need time at this, and thank you so much for your support. Today is the finish for the show, but today a start other things. I'm
Good.
I am so glad.
One, are you, just let the world know, are you speaking with anybody? Do you have an interest, or are you single? And that's not an okay to blow up your DMs. I'm just saying.
Oh my God, I'm single. I'm single right now. I'm very single. I'm very, very single, guys.
Good.
But no more DMs, please.
No more DMs.
No more DMs.
Okay.
It's funny. In the last night, I look and answer all my DMs. And today I have 15. I say, oh my God, this is crazy.
And it's me after getting you on here. I'm like, come on, we need you.
No, I'm single right now. I love you so much, and thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much because this is the first episode. I look all your videos, and I'm watching your videos, your comments, and I'm really appreciate you guys. It's amazing.
Thank you. We support you the same way. Thank you so much. We love you so much, and have a good day at work. Thanks for stopping by and talking to us. Dee Dee and Cara are huge supporters, just like me. So from the beginning, we've been Team Jamie. We're still Team Jamie. And whoever you decide, whoever you decide to date next, they're gonna have to go through us. There's gonna be a process. We're gonna make sure that they're right for you.
Yep. Yes, they got to call us. They got to call all three of us, and we got to give them an interview.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I love this idea. Bye, guys. Good night. Thank you so much.
Nos vemos, amiga.
Bye, chao, mi amor. Ay, Dios mío.
Hold on. I know how to do it. Oh, there it is. All right, guys. That was fun. We've been on forever, though. So is there anything else we need to talk about before we end this live? Because we'll be back live tomorrow, right, for Love in Paradise. So is there anything that we want to say before we end this? Because this was the end of 90 Day Fiance the other way, the third part of the tell-all. Any last words for the cast members or anything you want to end it with?
Is Rishi wanting to come on for a quick minute?
Oh, is Rishi here?
He was. He came in and was chatting when Jamie was here.
He's no longer here.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that he.
Okay. Oh, Rishi, tell Rishi if you DM him, if he wants to come on the show, we can do a live sometime this week.
Okay.
If he wants to come on and he wants to talk about it.
Like, we didn't give him an opportunity because he left and he came back, so I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Rishi is always.
Yeah, because I have a lot of questions for Rishi. I really do.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of I have a lot of questions for him.
Yeah, Rishi's always welcome here. So if he wants to come on, I think he said it's nighttime. What did he say? Is
morning.
Morning. Yeah. So I don't know what he's up to, but I know he was here earlier. So if he wants to come on, we can do a special live on a different tomorrow or sometime this week. I know we need to work it out where it's a decent time for him. It's kind of late for us right now, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. Rishi, you're always welcome on the George Mossey show. So what do you want to say about any of the couples before we end this? Because they're going to be gone for a while, if any of them even come back. So what do we want to end on with the couples? What are your last words for everyone?
My last thought for Jamie is, yay, congratulations on running as fast as she can.
Yeah.
Nicole and Mahmoud, I'll be interested to see if we see them again. Also, I wish Nicole the best because she's going to need luck. Gabriel, love them to pieces no matter what. Don't really care what's happening with Monica today. I mean, she lost. Johan and Narcissist, I wish you the best, Johan. You got what you had coming to you. So there's that. Would love to chat with Rishi. I don't know about the Jen. I lost a little bit of
chat with Johan too.
Yeah, I would love to ask Johan what really went on in that marriage because I feel like there's so much we don't know that we didn't get to see.
Yeah.
And I would love for him to tell his side because you could tell in the annoyance in his face how much he's been through on that tell-all when he was sitting there and he was watching her interact with Taylin and you could see that he was just so annoyed. And I would love to get an inside picture of what he had to go through because he said she didn't want my business to work, so it didn't work. And, he just went through so much. So if he wants to come on, I'm down. If he wants to come on, let's do it.
Yeah.
I think
let's do it.
About Debbie.
Let's do it.
Oh, what'd you say about Debbie?
I feel like we should see about maybe I'd like to ask Debbie why she had the perception that she did about all of the people on the stage being so vastly different from all of the people not on stage. I just want to know why she was opinionated to certain things and how she came to a very different conclusion on a lot of these people that we didn't, that a lot of people did. I just want to know.
She did have the unpopular opinion. I did notice that. So yeah, Debbie, if you want to come on, hey, Julian, we want to know about the Jen situation too. So anybody want to come on this week before we wrap it up and start before the 90 days next week. That's where we're moving fast. So we're starting before the 90 days next week. Gino and Jasmine are back, and all new people, and our very first ever completely deaf cast member who is finding love. I'm so excited. It seems like TLC is just breaking boundaries. Every season we have something new that we're doing for the first time. We had Gabe on this season, and I just love the direction that the show is taking. We're showing all different types of variations of love in different situations, and I'm just glad that they're open to doing that.
For sure.
Well,
oh, there's Rishi. Hold on, Rishi.
I would like to know why, people didn't ask Osama any questions. Is it because because they're actually still in a relationship? I truly believe that they're still in a relationship. That's why no one said anything to Osama. That's why nobody asked him any questions. Because on the other couples, everybody was going after them. Right. But when it comes to, and then Miss Debbie and Osama had a quick couple of minutes where Sean talked to him, and that was it.
Yeah. And then
but she went a couple of times with the other couples.
Yeah, and at the end of the tell-all, she
really
said
super quick, before we lose him again, Rishi's back in here. Rishi, we are inviting you to come in. We're going to do another live this week, and we would love to have you join us and tell your side of a lot of things. So the invite is open. Join us.
The invitation is out there, Rishi, if you want to take it.
Yes, Rishi. We need answers, Rishi.
So yeah, I think that you're on to something, and maybe they wouldn't talk about it on the tell-all because we're going to see them on another show. Because I know before the 90 days is, I think, Happily Ever After, or I think it's 90 Day Fiance, then Happily Ever After. So but there could be a reason for that. You're on to something, because there should have been a lot more questions as to why he had such different intentions than she did. And you're right, they weren't addressed. And I wonder if that has to do with them being, because she said at the end, she said, I'm not closing the door on this situation. And that was very shocking. Because on this season, when she packed up her stuff and she went back to Sugar Hill, it made it seem like that door was closed. So you're right. I think you're definitely on to something.
And John actually asked Osama what he thought about the other couples. What?
Yeah.
Do what?
Why was that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
John asked Osama.
Every my head.
Opinion except for him.
So yeah, there's a lot of questions. So I would love to talk to Debbie. Debbie, if you're out there and you're watching, you want to drop by, we would love to do a live with you this week. We would love to know what's going on. I know if you are filming, you're not going to tell us, but we would still love to know, what's going on with that, and why didn't you close the Osama chapter for good after what he did, unless there's something that we don't know, which we would love for you to tell us.
Yep.
Oh, not right now, Rishi. Anytime this week. So you just get with us and tell us when you're available. Obviously, you probably won't be able to do it now.
Yeah, I didn't mean right this minute. I was just wanted you to know that we were inviting you on.
Yeah. So if you have some time this week and you want to do it, let us know, and we'll collaborate together and we'll make that happen. So you can have your chance to, come on and talk about it like we did for Jamie. And anybody else from the season who wants to come on. I know Jen has reached out and she wants to, but I haven't scheduled anything, so that will be sometime in the future.
Yeah, I'd like to get her on. I got a few questions for her.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's it. This was a fun live, guys. Everybody who followed us tonight, I'm George Mossey. This is the George Mossey Show. This is my co-host, Dee Castile. This is my co-host, Cara. We do this every week, all the TLC shows. So if you enjoyed this live, make sure you give us a follow. We post everything to YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, all of that stuff. So thank you guys for joining us. I'm George Mossey. Thanks to Dee. Thanks to Cara. Thanks to all of you for joining. This was the end. So 90 Day Fiance, the other way, the last part of it. Even though we still have questions, it's over, but we're going to try to get some answers before the end of the week, before we start, before the 90 days. Don't worry, we'll be here to talk about all of it with you guys. Thanks for joining. We'll talk to all of you guys really soon.
All right. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.